Hi, Teo Pellizzeri here, joining you for the Isuzu UTE A-League highlight show. It's the final round of the regular season, and there's still so much to play for. A doubleheader on Friday night football sees the conclusion of the top four. Let's sort out who's getting that spot in the AFC Cup and a direct ticket to the semi-finals by finishing second. We'll start in Melbourne, where the Premiers, Melbourne City, host Western Sydney Wanderers at Amy Park. Let's join Andy Harper and Simon Hill.
Nicely done in the first place by Amalfitano, but now he's coughed up the ball. And City will come forward through O'Neill. Little touch by McLaren in the box, building nicely. O'Neill and Tilio. And pushed away by Lawrence Thomas for a corner.
That's really good interplay, wasn't it? But even they were caught ball watching and getting turned inside out. The ball ended up at Tilio's right foot, not the most lethal weapon in his arsenal, but still it was good enough to test Lawrence Thomas.
Was putting pressure on themselves with that loose turnover, but they've won the ball back here. And Borrello is so strong, and he's going to go for goal here. Oh, and he almost caught Tom Glover out, who has a little wag of the finger and a smile on the face as well.
Well, he can turn around and say, no, Brandon, don't try that. But I tell you what, another half yard in the air, and Tom's smile mightn't have been so profound. He covered his ground really well, Tommy Glover. Great effort, Borrello.
Nice touch by Simmons. He'll continue his run down that right-hand side. Layuni almost lost his feet, but he's not lost the ball. And threads it through. It's Brandon Borrello! Yet again, the Wanderers strike with half-time approaching. And it's lucky 13 for the season for Brandon Borrello. What a campaign he's having. But for now, it's Melbourne City on the charge through Aidan O'Neill. Two players to his left. Geordie Boss smacks the upright. Lawrence Thomas beaten. Great pressure by the Premiers. Flicked through by Tilio and Thomas again to deny Melbourne City an equaliser. Here goes Tilio though. Still Tilio, still! Nothing Lawrence Thomas could do about that one. Marco Tilio with the equaliser. The boy from Sydney putting a dent into the Wanderers' top two hopes as the City fans celebrate. And they have been knocking on the door for the last few minutes. Layuni now on the left. Traore. Oh, it's the legs taken from him. Yes, penalty. Andrew Naboot, who thought he'd won a penalty in the first half at that end of the ground. And he saved this one too, but not the follow-up from Nicholas Milanovic. And the Wanderers do have the lead for the second time in the game. And it's a first goal in red and black for Nicholas Milanovic. What can they do about it? Here's Naboot looking to make amends, and they've done so immediately through Jamie McLaren. Wow. Lawrence Thomas initially made the block, but it was too hot to handle, and you know who pounced. The best striker in A-League history moves up to 24 goals for the season. It's a handy release from Jamison, and Tilio is bundled down by Aidan Simmons. Another penalty. I don't believe this. And a great save by Lawrence Thomas. That is absolutely top draw. On his heels, and the Wanderers have committed some numbers forward, and City could profit from that. Here's Tilio, this to win it. Surely has done. Marco Tilio. 2 goals on the night. Reward for a scintillating second half display. Is there time for the Wanderers to have one last attack? Might break here for Bozanic! And it was that close to 3-3. Well, Rado Vidicic can't believe it. I'm not sure we can either. Well, that was a second half that had everything. Full time at Amy Park. Melbourne City 3, Western Sydney Wanderers 2.
The win for Melbourne City means whoever wins between Adelaide United and Central Coast Mariners secures second spot on the ladder. I joined Daniel McBreen in the commentary box for this one at Coopers Stadium. Everyone back on their feet. It was McGarry, the man down, but he's okay. Silvera looking to launch a counter. Tullio's alone in the middle. Marco Tullio, can he get his step right? Yes, he can! It's a glorious finish! And the visiting Mariners score through Marco Tullio in delightful fashion. Goes wide, all over the head and over the bar of Haller, and he was trying to get over the header desperately. If anything, he did well to get up to it and make some contact.
Well, I think James McGarry will breathe a big sigh of relief here because he totally lost the run of Halloran. Didn't know he was there, and it was a wonderful work from Craig Goodwin. And you're right, Teo, he just gets up and can't keep himself in the air.
Tullio saw Cummings. Cummings has a seam, and he's able to exploit it. And the answer's from Gauci to parry over.
Tullio finds Cummings. He doesn't have much space and he's under a lot of pressure, and he gets a great strike away. Joe Gauci gets the big paw up and gets it over the bar.
A long drifting crossfield pass. And the foul is going the Mariners' way.
And you see, just last minute, comes in late on Storm Root.
And Kololo stealing a march, and Kololo! And the Mariners strike again. Deadly finishing from Benny and Kololo. McGarry left the ball behind for Isaias. Now Blackwood receives the ball, wants to send it out to the right for Irankunda. And the crowd rises behind the teenager. Irankunda, selfless. Halloran! Saved by Vukovic. We're back underway at Coopers, and Adelaide might get an instant response from their subs. Yes, they will. Blackwood thinks he's scored. The assistant referee thinks otherwise, and cheers turn to frowns in the Red Army. So a corner kick. Craig Goodwin looking to capitalise on the little gift. Bars up! Oh, it's just wide. Half the ground, we're hoping, and the other half would have seen it slide wrong side of the post.
Well, he's always a danger, isn't he? Lucky Bar. Great delivery again. Gets up early. Just can't quite get it on target.
As in Kololo goes for a loping run. And now Tullio, he'll see Silvera out on the left. Numbers in the middle for Central Coast. Can they hit on the counter here? Tullio with acres of space. Tullio! They left him all alone. And Marco Tullio said, Adelaide, do you not know what I'm capable of? It's 3-0 to the Central Coast.
No pressure applied, and he picks his spot. Top corner, Joe Gauci, no chance at all. That is wonderful finishing from Marco Tullio.
What a spin from Nkololo. Mariners on the march again. Tullio! Tullio! He had never scored a hat-trick at senior level. Oh, and he still hasn't. The flag's up for Marco Tullio.
Just holds onto it a little too long. It's a nice little finish again. Composure.
Here's Maresh, able to squirm free at the byline, and it's in for a fourth. The Central Coast Mariners are running right, and what a fantastic moment for Harry Steele. Adelaide looking for a late consolation, and Kiddo scores. It's 4-1, and it's met by a cheer, but a belated one at that, as Adelaide do pick a goal back at the end of the night. And there's the full-time whistle. What a night for the Central Coast Mariners. They come to Adelaide and they rock the Reds. They take second place in emphatic fashion as it finishes at Coopers Stadium. Adelaide United 1, Central Coast Mariners 4. What a performance it was, and what a season for the Central Coast Mariners. Next up, it's the Wellington Phoenix, who travel to Campbelltown for a must-win game against Macarthur. A win will see the Knicks claim a finals spot and lock out the top 6. Phil Moss and Ben Homer are your match commentators.
From that last gasp defeat to Melbourne victory. Gee, they're not far off, MacArthur, if you think about it. Stoppage time goals conceded in their last 3 as Holman from distance just wouldn't drop for him, and Ollie Sale comfortable enough to let it fly over the top. Anyway, free kick here for Jed Drew, who's curling it towards that back post. Gee, that would have been very harmful
to complete. And last Sunday night was in co-commentary for the Perth-Adelaide 4-4 draw, so...
Did you have any voice left by the end of it, Mossy, after that?
Took me till Thursday.
Yarnsat slipping in David Ball. He couldn't beat Curto initially, but on the second attempt, their leading goal scorer, Oscar Zavada, number 15 for the campaign. And Wellington with a priceless early lead. It's Callan Elliott. One of the real bright lights for Wellington, Callan Elliott this season. He almost was able to find it past Philip Curto for what would have been his second goal of the season. Payne is powering that one in. Miller was about. Barbarousis! That may have almost killed off the Bulls early in this first half. It would have made it a really tough road back for the home team.
Just prodding, looking for those openings.
Skitardis, the deflection. And now Holman. And fortunately, it's straight into the arms of Ollie Sale. He puts that a metre either side in it.
That was then, this is now. And right now, they need to lift the intensity, MacArthur, if they're going to get something out of this game.
Skitardis decides to shoot. That would have been a goal of the season contender from Jerry Skitardis, and it would have been his first in the Isuzu UTE A-League. As here is Zavada, and he should have made it 2-0 to Wellington. And now a real chance. Well, he had more time than what he thought, Jay Coleman. He probably had a chance there. Najjar. Moody Najjar going low and hard straight into the arms of Ollie Sale. Romero floating it. How about that header off the crossbar? Tommy Uzcock getting himself forward. Smashed into the bar. And that will do us. Wellington, they're into the finals. Finally, they're confirming their spot in back-to-back seasons. MacArthur FC 0, Wellington Phoenix 1.
Join us after the break as we wrap the rest of the action from round 26. Welcome back to the Isuzu UTE A-League Highlight Show. Sydney FC welcome Newcastle Jets to Allianz Stadium in their final home game of the regular season. Andy Harper and Robbie Thompson called the action.
Bratton spotting a little opening for Segicic again, who's been lively. It's a great ball, and it's a good goal from Adam Lafondra. The mistake by Jack Duncan, who's back in the starting 11. But he was caught cold there. Lafondra with a hopeful poke, and the ball somehow squeezing through the legs of Jack Duncan. That effort, ooh! It was a great curling effort from Josh Sotirio, just wide of the mark. Here's Lolly. Lolly still on the left foot. Burgess now, he's on the left as well. And he almost splinters the post with a cracking drive from the edge of the box as the flag then goes up for offside, but it wouldn't have affected the initial strike from Burgess.
Yeah, Lolly was the player offside.
Thurgate can only tackle it into the path of Burgess, who accelerates. Lafondra off the post, across the face of goal, and out for a goal kick.
Very nicely done, Sydney FC. Ryan Grant keeps it in play for Wood. Can he get the little touch? He can. If there's no free kick there, it's Sydney 2-on-1 with Lolly 3-on-1. Wood passing it into the corner. But that surely is this one settled. Sydney in the 63rd minute, leading Newcastle by 2-0. Now Rattray. Runners ahead of him, including Wood, who got the touch. Penalty, says referee Alex King. Is he going to warm up for the finals in style as well? Saved by Duncan. Second penalty save of the season for Duncan, but Wood and now Rattray. Well, he doesn't warm up for the finals with another goal to his tally. Here's Wood. Ooh. Passes to Bahaja, his old teammate. And picks up a free kick as well, Trent Bahaja, and there's a yellow card there for Kucharski.
Joe Lolly has to go off the field. I mean, I don't know why there's any hesitation from a Sydney viewpoint.
Brow, oh no, it's right on the eye. He could be in trouble here. The referee is coming across. And it's a second yellow and a red card for a swinging left arm. The season is over for Newcastle, for Sydney FC. They march into the finals and a fourth Sydney derby. Sydney FC have defeated the Newcastle Jets by 2-0.
Two clubs happy to reach the finish line are Melbourne Victory and Brisbane Roar, closing their campaigns head-to-head at Amy Park. Daniel McBreen joins Simon Hill for this one.
Cadete heading off that run of Jack Hengerts, who's now out of position. And Ben Falami accelerating into that gap. Scott Neville across to try and cover. Falami got a deflection. From O'Shea's corner, and Aldred did reach it.
You can see Tom Aldred just guides himself into space.
And then Valadon partly clear for Victory. Back forward by Truin, but easily steadied down by Romero. Now with Falami and Valadon. This is nicely built up by Melbourne Victory, and away they go. Big chance for the opening goal. It's a big save by Freak to deny Fernando Romero. And a complete miscue by Courtney Perkins, but Brisbane get away with that.
It was a good break in the Harvey Norman replay. Romero found himself away and he just had a heavy touch as Macca Freak came out, spread himself, closed down the space.
Overran it in the end, and Neville nipped in. And we'll look to now set up a Brisbane Roar attack. Henry Hall on the move down the left. O'Shea wants the ball played early. Ball goes on his own, little back heel. Jordan Courtney Perkins fires it into the roof of the net. And Brisbane Roar take the lead in the 54th minute. And it's a first goal in the competition for the fullback, Jordan Courtney Perkins, with a thunderous drive. Given away by Miranda. One back by Raimar Shan. The fans urge Victory forward. Economides slides it out towards Bruno Fornaroli. He was only ever going to do one thing, wasn't he? And that is shoot. Frustrations boiling over. Here's De Silva again in that winger's role. The cross in for Kamal, who threw himself at it.
Well, positive play from De Silva down the right. It's a good ball as well. We saw one earlier in the match. Bruce Kamal, you've got to give it to him. He attacked that ball. We haven't seen that too much in this second half.
Brisbane edge, a few seconds closer to an 8th clean sheet of the season. Economides, better delivery. Well, Fornaroli couldn't have tried any harder. And a punch in the air from Tom Aldred and his teammates. Melbourne Victory 0, Brisbane Roar 1 at Amy Park.
And the final game of the home and away season was the outgoing champion Western United taking on the Perth Glory. Grace Gill joined me in commentary as we closed out the regular season. Here's Burke Gilroy for Perth. Perth have really gone dormant in the game, not creating anything at the moment. It's all Western United at present. Diamante wheeling and dealing. Piraeus a good industrious run. Piraeus runs wide on the tight angle. It sits up and there's no one there to tap it in. Both the attackers had run into the net, but the ball didn't go in the net. Diamante's corner. Lacroix made a run and then it actually landed at shin level. Risdon got the contact, back out to the taker. Diamante, a bit of flash, a bit of razzle from Diamante. And the cross is going to be retrieved by Lustica. Garuccio pokes it through to Connor Payne, the cutback, and it's in for the opener. Ben Garuccio puts it through the keeper, and Western United lead in WA. As we see Western United prevail in another midfield scrap and breaking into space here. It's a great run. Piraeus denied. Garuccio for a double. Oh, it's been cleared off the line by Clisby. And Ben Garuccio, the last time he scored in the A-League, it was a double on the same night, and perhaps he should have one here. Normally a lot more combustible on the ebb and flows of the game. He's got a number of promising young players on the bench, including Adam Zimmerino, who's broken his A-League duck and got a goal, but do you think he'll ring the changes and look at some new faces, given... Well, scrap all that. Here's Keegan Jelicic, and he brings Perth level on the back of a horrendous mistake. Jelicic won't care. He's got another goal, and Perth Glory, out of absolutely nothing, have equalised in the last minute of the first half. Bodic, legged by Beavers, and now the centre-back's out of position as Western United break forward. Risdon, Piraeus, the pass is going to find its way out to him on the right, and Western United take the lead. Noah Bodic with the easiest of tap-ins. And after Perth Glory were denied by the offside flag at one end, it's Western United that take a 2-1 lead at the other. Piraeus, great little step. He got around Clisby, and then Mark Beavers has gone in and fouled him hard. Daniel Elder has got the yellow card out of the pocket. It'll be the first booking of the night. Bodnar. Cleared from the centre of defence. Beavers has to be careful now that he's on a booking, and Piraeus... Oh, Beavers has scragged him here. Inexplicably. It's a second yellow, and he's off. Almost like he wanted to get sent off. That's extraordinary.
Could not make any amount of contact here with Piraeus. That's just mindless stuff there, completely mindless.
And that's not even time enough. Boos ring around HBF Park. It's not the end of the season that Perth Glory were hoping for. How will the future look for Western United? They go out as winners tonight because it finished Perth Glory 1, Western United 2. And this is how the final series will shape up, starting next Friday night. Adelaide United will return to Coopers Stadium to host the Wellington Phoenix, while it's a mouth-watering final at CommBank Stadium, a Sydney derby between the Western Sydney Wanderers and Sydney FC. So that's it from round 26. We'll see you in the finals for more Isuzu UTE A-League action.